Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of In Conversation with Bright Minds. And today we have with us Payal Sharma. Now, Payal has been a very, very old student of mine. And, I have been in connect with her since her undergrad days. Payal is currently a faculty herself now. And, she has done her master's in economics from South Asian University. So today she would be guiding us on what SAU is all about and how you can make a future in economics when you do masters from South Asian University. Welcome to the show, Payal.
Thank you for a wonderful introduction, ma'am. So, when it comes to SAU, basically, a lot of people don't know about SAU in general. So, South Asian University was established in 2010 by SAARC countries together. So, it's located in Delhi, but it's an international university. And the degree is recognized in all the SAARC countries. So, basically, there are a lot of courses that are offered by SAU. Mostly masters and PhD courses. So when it comes to masters in economics, sociology, computer science, biotechnology, a lot of courses are offered by SAU. Recently, it has also started BTech and MTech courses. So that's the undergraduate course that it has started offering. So a lot of people don't know about SAU, but when it comes to the academic people who have been in academics, who have pursued their master's or PhD, they are well versed with the curriculum and the course structure that SAU offered, and it is valued a lot in that
So,
domain.
so it is not masters in general economics, right? It is masters in development economics.
Yes, so it's master's in economics with specialization in economic development. So typically, when you study masters, there are some universities which offer general economics masters, but most of them offer a specialization in one or the other domain. So the specialization here makes a difference in the courses that you study. So there are compulsory development economic courses in the first semester and the second semester. There's also a South Asian Economic Development course, which goes across the development in not only India, but not only in general, but particularly catering to the South Asian region. So that is a compulsory course as well, which is taught in the third semester.
Got it. So, if one has to compare general economics versus development economics, who should be inclined towards doing a master's course in development economics?
So personally, for me, I was I like development economics a lot simply because from the very beginning of even our school, when we study economics, all we study is microeconomics and macroeconomics. And mostly our curriculum is designed in a way that those are very theoretical models, which have been criticized or applauded or all such things. But courses like development economics, particularly catering to the region which is currently developing, are very relevant. So if you feel that you want to work in the area of policy making, where you want to look into how the countries have developed and how we can use those policies to help the underdeveloped or developing region in developing further, and knowing about development economics in itself is not a really very old discipline. It started after 1940s when there was a divergence that why our country is not growing. So if anyone has an interest in that, then they can pursue a course with specialization in development economics. And apart from that, if you feel that okay, you don't want to do a course specialization in development and you feel that you won't be learning other subjects, that's not the case. So microeconomics, macroeconomics, statistics, econometrics, these are all compulsory courses. And the optional courses also have a wide range. So you can study environmental economics, you can study time series, you can study political economics. So there is a wide spectrum of courses that are offered as electives as well. So you will not be very focused. Of course, development will be a focus because those are compulsory courses, but you can actually diversify and study multiple courses.
Got it. So, many students have this doubt that whether they would be able to survive SAU or not, if they are from a non-mathematical background, or if they have never studied maths, or they don't like maths for that matter. So, how difficult is it for a person to survive SAU if the person is not very, very good at maths?
It is not that difficult. The reason being, the course is designed in a way that you will be focusing more on the economic intuitions and reasoning. It's not much of a quant-heavy course. If you cannot literally study mathematics or statistics, then it will be very difficult to cope. But if you feel that, okay, you don't have much of a background, but you are okay to learn from the beginning, then you can survive. The reason is that there are students who are coming from different countries. There are also students who are coming from non-economics background, just because they feel that SAU will be a place for them to enhance their knowledge. So the course structure is designed in a way which takes into account the fact that there will be students who are from non-economics background. There will be students who have not studied or done their graduation in very rigorous mathematical courses. So it will start from the very basics and then build upon that foundations. So it will not be difficult to survive if you have not done a very rigorous mathematical course. And compared to other institutions which offer master's courses which are very quant heavy, compared to them, it is less quant heavy.
Got it. So, what's the success rate at SAU? Do they have actually students flunking, or do they go ahead and pass everyone in the batch?
No, there are no, as far as I remember, there were no students who flunked actually, because it's a very, the teachers are very cooperative. The students come from different cultures and they bind together and they help each other out. So it's a very nice environment to study in actually. And the students don't actually flunk because the course is taught in a way actually that uh, there is no reason if you study and work hard, you will flunk.
Got it. So, how does SAU offer any kind of scholarship, or what is the fee structure? Can a general person afford to go in SAU?
There are a lot of scholarships and freeships that are offered. Uh, Compared to private universities, the fees is lesser. Compared to very like pure government universities, the fees is a little higher. So it's an intermediate range. But most of the students can afford easily because scholarships are offered to international as well as international students. There are multiple different kind of scholarships. If you're not eligible for a scholarship, you can also apply for free ships. So taking into account your annual income of the family, a lot of students are offered free ships along with scholarships, or they're just offered free ships in the waiver of their tuition fee. So most of the students that are actually studying in SAU are able to only stay there because of the scholarships and free ships they receive. So they are very considerate in that aspect and they do offer that.
Got it. So, is it on the basis of just the marks, or is it just the family income, or is it on the basis of the rank that one scores in the entrance
So
exam?
the scholarships that are offered are on the basis of rank, based on internationals are offered separate scholarships, and the same scholarships are offered to international students as well. The three kind of scholarships which are offered on the basis of rank, and free ships otherwise are offered on the basis of family income.
Okay, got it. So, coming to the entrance exam, how difficult do you think is the entrance exam, and how should one prepare for the entrance exam? How did you prepare for your entrance exam?
So entrance exam is basically to test your basic knowledge. So if you're applying for a master's in economics, they don't expect you to know everything or very complex concepts. They just expect that you know the basics in the field of micro, macro, and because it's a specialization in development, the entrance will also have certain questions related to development economics, statistics, econometrics. But so it'll range in all the different courses, but it will be based on the basic concepts. So the way to prepare, so it's a 2-hour exam which has 70 MCQs. There is no negative marking. There is also a sample question paper that's available on the website, which gives a very good idea regarding the type of questions they can ask. So when you look at the sample question paper, so say there's a question on Phillips curve, there's a question on Lewis model. So from there, you can understand that, okay, these are the types of concepts and questions based on that which can be asked. So your preparation should be based on that. I refer to all past year questions, and I from that assess that what are the kind of concepts that I should be studying. And based on that, I brushed up my basics, because we keep on studying more complex, and we try to solve the numerical questions for most of other entrance exams. But this requires only the knowledge of basics. And when you look at sample question paper, there are also certain questions which are asked on the basis of regarding SARC and SAU itself. There are 1 or 2, but they usually come for the exam as well. So the best part is that there is no negative marking, and if you know your basics, then it's not much difficult to crack. And it's even better now because the number of seats have also increased in SAU. So earlier there were 30 seats. Now, after the campus has shifted to its new location, they offer 90 seats from this year. So your chance of getting selected is higher given the number of seats have increased.
Oh, is it 90 seats? 90?
Yes, it is 90.
Okay, got it. But
So
this is going
90
to
will
be
be divided for
across
50%
countries.
is, yes. So 50% is for international, the rest 50% is divided among all the other countries.
Okay, got it. So then
So earlier there used to be 15 seats for Indians, now there will be 45.
which is very good number actually.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And how's the faculty at SAU? You know, any I mean, how do they teach? What degree do they hold, and overall?
So given that they are teaching masters and PhD students, all the faculties are PhD and even postdocs. They're very specialized in their own fields, of which the courses they take up. The course is designed by them, so they're very well versed with the course. They know the kind of papers that should be taught. They are readily available. During our time, there was also time of COVID. They were very cooperative in aspect of the situations in various different countries, the way the students will be suffering and what all to consider. And I actually loved the way the course was designed as well as the way it was taught. So most of the faculty, so if there are teachers who are specialized in a certain field, they take up courses which are compulsory courses, as well as they offer elective courses of their particular field. So they're very knowledgeable in that aspect. And the courses itself is very great. The faculty is fantastic. That's why I think that's also the reason that students don't flunk, because the course is designed in a certain way and the faculty teaches in a certain way that you will be, if you attend classes, if you listen to them and you study on your own, you will be able to work through it. There is also a compulsory dissertation that has to be done in the second year. And in that, again, based on the topic that you select for your dissertation, you are assigned supervisors, and they guide you throughout the process. That okay, this is because it's a very nascent stage that you don't know much about research. So that way, so there's a compulsory dissertation that has covered in third and fourth semester, and the faculties are very considerate and cooperative and guide you throughout the process. Yes. So So earlier, the campus was under construction and they were temporarily operating in Akbar Bhavan, which is in Chanakyapuri. Last year, they have shifted to the new campus, which is located in Medhangadi. It's a big campus. Some of it is still under construction, but they're operating through that only. That's why, because they have shifted to a new campus, the number of seats offered have also increased, and the hostel facility is there. Most of the outside students prefer to stay in hostel facilities, and those are provided to all the outstation students. So that's not a problem. In fact, earlier when they did not have hostels, when they were operating in Akbar Bhavan, they even if they were not able to offer a hostel to a student, they used to help him in locating and paying for their PGs or any places that they resided in. Now, given that they have a bigger campus, more number of rooms, they offer hostel facilities to everyone. Sorry, ma'am, your voice is breaking. I cannot hear you.
Now?
Yes, now it is.
Okay. So I wanted to know what is the placement, how's the placement at SAU, and if at all a student who gets enrolled now can do better in next 2 years.
The main focus of SAU, because it's a research institution, is more on research. There are not much placement opportunities in terms of a placement cell. There is a common placement cell, but that's not too, in providing the placements. The only way to get placed, but because most of the students here are with the inclination that they want to pursue a PhD after masters. So that ways, that's very good for them. In fact, many of the students end up doing the PhD from SAU itself. It's not like students do not get placed at all. The teachers help in finding and guiding students about the opportunities that are available. And there are a lot of alumni who are placed in a lot of corporate sectors and think tanks. And the alumni network itself is helpful, where the few companies where SAU students are already placed know the value that how they have been taught and gained knowledge in 2 years, and they come to recruit students from SAU itself. So it's not a very formal way to get placed, but placements are offered from a few companies where alumni are already there.
And what do you think is the market recognition for SAU? So once you're out in the market and you tell that you have done masters from SAU, how much recognition does that give you? Do companies know about SAU when it comes to, taking in for placement?
So, companies, in some sense, where SAU students have been there, know about SAU, but most of the recognition that it derives, it's basically in academic places. If you go into any research institution or any think tank or any academic place where there are people who have themselves done a PhD in any of the field, they will be aware of SAU as a good academic institutions. Companies, I cannot say that all will be aware, but some where the alumni of SAU have worked before and they have, they have recognized that, okay, there are people from SAU who do what kind of work. They recognize SAU in a really good way.
Hmm. So, you know, how do you go ahead and guide students? So after doing the 2-year course, how should a student go ahead and look out for placement? And how did you do that bit to get placed personally?
Yeah, so during my time as well, I was looking for placements on my own because most of them are off campus. The alumni companies that come to recruit students happen during the last semester, and I started looking for uh, a job before that. So I refer to a lot of these networking places like LinkedIn, Indeed, and all of that. In fact, I got my first job through that only. It was into market research, but ultimately it depends on what is the field that you want to get into. So after you've done your graduation, maybe you are unsure at that point, but after 2 years of masters, you will have a little more clarity that either you want to pursue your studies further or you want to get a job, and in what sector. So you can get and do during that 2 years, you can also build your skills according to that. If you want to get into consultancy or as an analyst, you want to work, so then you can, acquire more skills in terms of the languages that you can learn and certification courses that you can do alongside. And it's actually not that difficult along with the masters that you pursue throughout the 2 years. So you can do that. And then you can look for jobs on your own. You can contact the alumni of SAU. They're not just there in India. They are situated abroad, working in corporate sector, working in government sector, policy making, and you can find them everywhere, and they're very they will help you definitely, because there's a link that binds you people, that you have started from the same place, and you can talk to them, you can connect with them. There's another Alma network that SAU itself provides, where you can, within the SAU only, you can connect. It's an online website where you connect with all the alumni. And on that also, there are job postings sometimes. So if anyone is working in any company and they have a job opening there, so they post it on that dashboard, and wherein you can access it. Okay, this is a company where this job has been offered. You might not come across that like that, but through the Alma network, you can access that. So if you work on your own and you connect through the alumni network, you can get a job. But as a formal way of placements, SAU is more inclined toward research than placements.
Got it. And is there any entrance that a person who's doing masters from SAU has to give in case they want to do PhD from SAU, or they can directly get admitted there?
There are two ways, I think. One is through entrance, wherein you have to give an entrance exam and interview. And the stipend, I think, is based on that exam. Where there is another direct route where you don't have to give the entrance, where you can directly give an interview, but that has certain criterias that you are working somewhere else and you will not be given a stipend. You are also already getting a stipend from the government, and all of that, unless under certain criterias only you can go through that direct route. Otherwise, all of the students have to give an entrance.
Got it. So just one last question, Payal. So if we go ahead and we need to, a student has some colleges under hand, say University of Hyderabad and SAU and, Shivnada University and Ashoka. Among these list of colleges, what do you think, should a student be going for SAU among these? Or, what should be the ranking criteria for a student?
I think that is very subjective. based on what is your goal. So if you are very focused on, okay, I just want to do a master's and then get a placement, and a good placement with a very good package, then your criteria, your ranking should be based on the placements that are offered by these institutions. If your inclination is more towards getting into a PhD and you're very sure about that, then your ranking should be based on, then SAU will be having a much better ranking based on its course is designed in a way that it will help you in PhD. And after doing SAU, you will also have done a dissertation, which will help you in having a knowledge about how to go about research. So based on the criteria in your mind, that what do you want to do after 2 years, you should rank the colleges. But an advice would be that always keep your options open, because in 2 years you get to know about a lot of corporate work, you get to know a lot about more about research, and after 2 years you might want to switch places. You might want to have an option of not going for a placement and go for a PhD, or not going for a PhD and go for a placement. So if you are very sure and you know that your decision will not change after 2 years, then of course you can rank your colleges according to that. I think all of these colleges are good in terms of the course that they offer and the faculties that are there. I think Hyderabad focuses more on placements, and Ashoka and Shiv Nadar are private colleges. Some people might not be able to afford them as well. And in the criteria of more inclination toward research, I think SAU stands ahead. Also, in terms of being an international college, SAU stands apart.
Right. Got it, Payal. Okay. So, anything you would like to go ahead at as last, 1 month is left for preparation of SAU? Anything, your final words for the students who are preparing for South Asian University? What should be their focus in this last 1 month? What should be their 1 month strategy?
So first, you are already preparing for entrances, so you will have a conceptual clarity about different subjects. But in studying for very advanced entrances, don't forget your basics. You need to brush up your basics for the SAU exam. It's not a difficult exam if you know your basics. And it's very important that you go through their past year questions, because and the sample paper that they have uploaded, because that gives you a very good idea that what should be your direction of study. You might be studying very hard, but your direction might not be right. So along with studying hard, it's also important that your direction is correct, so that your hard work pays off. So brush up your basics, build upon those, focus on the past year papers and the sample paper, and accordingly, modify your study pattern and the things that you're studying. There's also in the sample paper that they have uploaded on the website, it's mentioned that they have negative marking. But on the website, as well as the 2024 admission brochure that's there, that it's mentioned that there is no negative marking. So I think you should follow that. But if there's still any confusion, you can definitely mail them and get to know more about it.
Right. Thank you so much, Payal. I think we have covered everything possible a student would, want to understand about South Asian University. And I hope that, students do get through SAU and, they do well, especially if they want to go into the research domain. And, now that, you know the process of placement well, a student can maybe make up the mind whether they actually want to do research or not. So, I hope that, taking out time on a weekday morning was not very difficult for you, although, I understand you have back-to-back classes going on, and I see that, you now also head the research team, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you for your time today, and I wish you all the luck for the future.
Thank you for having me, ma'am. And if students have any confusions or want to know more about any of the aspects, I can definitely address that whenever the need be.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.